Python introduction course. Actually, this is a new channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you are listening to this, please kindly subscribe. Now, uh, I just want to let me show you how to install Python. If you don't have Python installed on your device already, this is how I install my own Python. I actually went to the Microsoft Store right here, and then I click on the store. After opening it, I went to the search button, and then I search for the uh I search for Python 3.9, and I downloaded the Python 3.9. And once you do that, you can just come to your command prompt right here, and then you can type Python 3, Python or Python 3, anyone. Then you can find my own Python right here. I'm using Python 3.9.12 actually. So I'll just type exit so that I'll be able to exit it out. So after you done that, you can actually come to your Visual Studio Code right here. Or if you don't have Visual Studio Code, you can just go online, download, go to your Microsoft Store, www.microsoft.com, and download Visual Studio Code. Or you can just search online Visual Studio Code. Boom, it's ready to download. So the first thing I want to show you guys is how to so now now I'm going to make a directory here. I'll just type something like this. Make directory, the name of the directory, let me say Python, but I don't want to go make a directory on my hard disk, because this is actually my hard disk, so I don't want to make a directory on my hard disk. So I want to make it on a desktop. So I will navigate to the desktop by using the cd desktop. So I'm now on my desktop page. Note, if you are using probably maybe you are using Linux or any other stuff, this desktop has to be in capital letter, but in Windows it doesn't have to be. So now now that I've done this, I want to make it directly on my desktop. So I'll make a directory, and then I'll call the directory Python files. So now I have the Python files right here, and then I will now change the directory from desktop to the Python files that I made. So I'll say cd Python files. So now I'm inside the Python files right here. There's a shortcut to actually open the Visual Studio Code right here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that at all. I'm going to show you how you can just do it. I'm just going to open it by myself so that you can see how I'm doing this thing without too much shortcut, so that it will not look so confusing. This is my Visual Studio Code. If you can't find your own here after installing, you can just come to the start button right here and then type Visual Studio. Then you have it here. You can actually open it. So now I've opened my Visual Studio. Let me navigate to it. This is it. I've opened it actually here, and then I'll just click on this application menu right here, and then I'll go to the file. Then I'll open the folder. I'll come to the desktop, and then I think I have my file right here called I've forgotten. Yeah, Python files. So I'm just gonna open it. Boom, I have it opened already. And yet I don't have any stuff on it. It's just a file that I just made. So I can just come here, and then I can just come here and make new files here, or make a subfolder. A subfolder is a folder that's inside another folder. Probably if I want to make another folder inside Python files, I can just make another folder inside it. But no, I just need a Python file right here. So I'm just gonna call this one Python Python files. So I have my Python file. No, don't let me call it Python files. Let me call it a work.py. So I call this one work.py. And then notice that if you don't have this thing here, actually you can just come to this place. This is called an extension. What's they call it? Probably extension or whatever. You can just, or by that, or by clicking control shift and then X, you will find it will take you automatically. But this is extensions right here. You can search for any extension, but probably your own might not have all these, because I don't think you have installed any of this. So your own might not have any of this, so you can just search for Python, then to bring a lot of varieties of stuff here. You can just look for this one, then you can just look for this one and download this one, this one if you need. But the most important one is this one and this one, and then I think this one. So if that means if you don't have this, but if you don't want to download any extension, or you can't find a way to download it, don't worry, I'll show you how to debug it without this file. So the first thing I want to do is want to test maybe my Python is actually working here. So another way to do this, I don't know, probably if you have not, I can find a way to add it to your interpreter. If this is not working actually, or let me show you some stuff. But don't worry, I will see. I don't need to go to this. I just need to show you. I'll just show you maybe when it's needed. So you can just write print whatever, you want to print. Yeah, you are good. So this actually, if I click on this right here, I should have you are good. So I have you are good right here, and it's working perfectly. This is where my file is under desktop, Python files. Then I have work.py here. I have you are good actually. So I'll delete this one right here. Oh no, I'll put it back, and then I'll save it, and then I'll come to my command prompt right here, and then I can actually just write Python, then work.py. So whatever you use to save your Python file right here, you can just come here and then navigate to the folder. Then when you are in the folder, you can just write Python, you can just call Python and then the name of the folder, then you must put .py, then automatically it will run for you. So now we want now that we have everything working fine, perfect and awesome, we actually need to go further by explaining some rules actually. So the first thing I actually want to be telling you now is that we have indentation rules. Indentation rules is just like every other code in Python has to follow a step. There must not be a space, SS space, all those stuff can't be between them. Not just like in C++, Java, JavaScript. You can just write your code anyhow on a straight line, well, whatever. But in Python, you can't write that. You just have to, because it doesn't have a term, what all I call it, line terminator, or all I will call it. This, if you are writing any C++ or JavaScript code, you know that you have something like this, uh, which terminates the line of a code. Probably in the next tutorial, after this Python tutorial, I might take C++. Probably for those that are interested, we take C++ every Wednesday or every Tuesday. So this is where we are now. And then if you want to print anything out, we use the print function to print anything out actually. And then what we actually want to show you now is that there are some procedure that we follows in writing Python code. The first one is that we have a variable. We have a variable. A variable is like a container that we use to store an information. Probably, let me say, it's like a box. It's like a box of, maybe in your kitchen right now we have different box that are identity. Probably this box is for beans, this box is for rice, so it just work exactly like that. Like, oh, this is for beans, this is for rice. That's how variable actually works. So now variables have some rules actually, and then they are actually very simple. If you have written any code in any places before, actually it's still the same thing, the same format that it follows. The first rules is that we can't just start with numbers, no, and say you score to something. No, we can't do that actually. And then we can't do something like starting with all this one. No, we can't do that. But we can start with alphabet, any alphabet, any alphabet, but the alphabet must not be inbuilt functions or inbuilt variables or whatever that follows Python comes. Don't worry, at the end of the day you'll be able to write some code on your own and understand how everything works. So I can actually say that after this one now, the next the next thing you need to know about variable is that we can't we can't start variable by all this underscore equals to. We can't do that. We can only start variable by saying, oh, this is allowed to start a variable. I don't know, you can say my my name. This is very much allowed to start a variable. So you can also do something like, oh, how will I put it? You can also do something like this. Yes, equals to, this is very much allowed. Then yes, one equals to, you can start with alphabet, end it with number, end it whatever you like. You can start it, but you can't start with number. You can't start with this. Actually, if you start with it, you turn everything to a comment. Don't worry, you will understand a comment in a bit. So we can't start with alphabet automatically. I told you that. Then we can't start with this one, exclamation mark, all those special characters. I don't think you can start with any of them. So it's just advisable to just use ordinary number that benefit or have meaning to what you are doing actually. So that's what we use a variable for. Now we have something we call a comment. A comment is like how will I put it? A comment is something that we write that the interpreter does not interpret it. Actually, it does not think is anything. You just leave it like, this is, I was not asked to do anything to this is actually none of my business. So and then we take advantage of that by using it to explain some stuff to our, maybe you're not the only one working. If you're not the only one working, many people are working with me, and then I want them to understand. Probably I'm developing something and then I'm working on open source stuff. I have to put comment so that if anyone else check my code, you understand this is how everything works. Hope you are getting that. So that's how it works. Perfect. That's why we have comments. And then we have two type of comments actually in Python. We have the line comment. This is line comment. And then we have something we call doc comments. If you are writing a function probably and you want them to be explaining some stuff, you want to explain how your functions work and stuff like that, we use doc comment for that. So that's, and you can actually use something like this. Oh yes, and this actually affects line. This actually affects multiple line. So that's why we call this one document for comment. So it actually affects multiple lines. But this one, after this line now, I can't just, if I write any other thing now, is a function, is an error, unless I put another hash here so that the comment can continue. So we have this one done right here, perfect, perfect. And then if I should run this now, I shouldn't have anything right here. Let me come to my thing and then I'll run it. I'll say my Python, yeah, my Python, then work.py. Then I don't have anything because everything I write inside here is a comment. So if I should put something like print here, let me say print hello, definitely I should have an hello printed on my screen. So I'll come here and then I'll do something like this. So I have hello printed on my screen actually. So now after this one now I'll show you some procedures, and then I'll show you some procedures after what I want to explain next. What I'm explaining next is we have two type of variables. Actually I think it should be three, there may be more, but I'll show you the major three we use the most. No, yeah, let me just say three or four or five, but I'll just show you more. I'll show you more, and then as long as I remembered, I'll keep showing you more and how it works, how we can use it. And first of all, I'm going to take a numeric, that's numbers. So I'm going to take the numbers. You can actually told you that you can use anything to save your variables. So you can say my variable, you can use anything you like, you can use your name, anything you like. You can my variable, but it should not just be part of Python functions. So if I should say bool right here, see that it's the color changes, definitely we can use it. You can use it. So anything that is part of Python variables, built-in variables or functions or class, anything like that, we can't use it. We can only use our own idea variables to store a variable. So I'll say my variable equals to, let me say say 56, and then I'm saying my variable 2 now equals to 79. What I can do with this now, I can do probably any multiplications, any form of algebraic multiplication with this now. So I can say print my variable 1, my variable plus my variable 2 plus minus my variable 3 multiplied by my variable 2. Now let's see our answer by coming right here. Then I'll just say work Python. I think I'm correct. Work.py. Then I have minus 4089, minus 4289, I think. So that's actually the answer. Well, what it does is that it first multiply this one, then it add this one together, then it now remove it. Actually, if you do that, you get the same answer as mine, as the interpreter. So you can actually do varieties of stuff with Python, numbers or whatever it is. And then this, another thing I would like to tell you about is we have those floating point number probably all those numbers that have a decimal point. In C++, the floating point number has many type. They can have all these short, all these long, and then I think we have some, yeah, I think we can have double and stuff like that. Probably this one does not really need that. We don't need that in Python. The only thing you just need to do is just to declare the the variable, and automatically Python knows the exact type it is. Now let me say I have my float equals to 5.2, it should be 5.4. Then we can actually use the a function called type of to print, or to print the type of a variables. If you don't know the type of the variable that is there, you can just use type of. Now let me show you how to do that. You can just say print uh type then my float, I'm printing my float. So I can just come here, and then I don't like running my code in Visual Studio. So I can just come here and say, now I have the class float right here. Automatically it will tell me the class. But now let me use this my variable, and see. So if I say my variable here, I'll have something like let me just look at it. I have something like integer automatically. So this actually brings us to type of floating, type of numbers. We have the integer type, and then we have the float type. This integer type actually does not contain any decimal. We can have 10,000 that doesn't have decimal, is integer, but this one you can have 5,000 that later have point zero. It's still a float actually. So these are what we can do with this. And now let's try. I'm not that very sure if you can if you can add floats and variable together, but it should be very very possible. So now let's try and add float and see what will give us. Probably I think the answer will be a float. The answer should be a float. Now we have 61.4. The answer is in floats actually. And then uh if you try and divide integer and integer, I think we should have a float. My variable, you should have a float. Then nope, it's not working. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, it should be division. We are dividing the two. Right here. Where is the guy? Where is it? Come right here. Click on this. Then yeah, we are having a float automatically. So if you are dividing two integers together, automatically it will bring out a float for you. Even if it is 2, I think you should have 2.0. If you are dividing 4 divided by 2, you should have 2.0. So it will automatically bring it back in float. So if you are working an integer and then you are dividing, you should know that automatically you have to convert back to integer. So that will lead us to conversion. So let me quickly show you how to convert. This, you just convert. You just need to write the name of the conversion in front, and then you put the just write the function of the conversion, and then you put the name of the variable inside it, and automatically Python will convert it for you. If you don't understand, just look at how I'll do it now in a second. So I'll have to save it in another file, another variable, sorry, actually. So I can say data converted, will now equals to my variable. Okay, now my float back to no. I'll now say float back to integer. So I'm converting float back to my float Actually, I'm converting my float back to, oh, I'm doing a very big mistake. I should be converting my variable back to float. So I have my variable right here. My variable, I'm converting it back to float, and then I'll print my data converted. I'll print my data converted. So now let me see, I have 56.0. Automatically you see that it's added a 0 back to it. So that's how we convert. And if I should convert this float to integer, automatically it should give us 5. Now let me show you how. Let me show you what happened. So float right here. Now I'll delete this stuff right here, and then I'll say my float, I'll say that's integer my float. I'm converting integer back to float. Yeah, I'm converting my float back to integers rather, sorry. So I have 5. Automatically it override this 4 away. Now let me put 6 here and see, maybe it will, and let's see what happened. So I still have 5. So if you are converting a float, automatically it will cut that one out and then bring it some stuff in, how will I put it? It will convert, if you convert the first number only needed, understand? So this now leads us to a string. So let me quickly explain a string for you guys. If you have a string is anything between a quote. That's how it works for all programming language. A string is anything in between a quote. So I can say my string equals to work. Actually, this string that I said equals to work right here, I can actually write it in another way also. Let me say my string 2 equals to work. You can notice that I have a double quote here and I have a single quote here. In other programming language like C++, Java, JavaScript, I don't probably know about JavaScript that much, but the rest I know that you can't just put this column like this actually, because this column, this one string here, this one that have one stroke right here, what it does is that it's like character, I think it's like a character, what's it called, char, maybe it's char or something like that. I think that's what it's called. So in Python, that does not actually really has meaning to Python. Everything that is in quote, automatically it knows, and it calls it what? It calls it its own, whatever, what was it, call it its own string actually. And then another thing I can do, another way to write a string is like a dot comment. I can actually turn a dot comment to a string. Now let me show you how. If I should copy this one right here, I'll copy this one here, and then I'll say my string 3 equals to this. I don't like the way it is like this. I want it up. So I want it here, I want it here, and I want it here. So I can just something like this. So that means I have 3 type of string now. I just show you how to write 3 type of string, and then this one too, I can use just one quote of string for it also. So I can just say 1, 2, 3. Still the same thing. Everything still work perfect like the same way. So that's why that's what we actually do. That's how we write our string or formatting, or what's it called, sorry, that's how we write our string. So if I should print everything out now, my string my string, my string, my string 2, my string 3. If I should print all this out now, I should have everything coming out perfect for me. Now let me see. So I'll come here, I'll run it. I have yes work, but I have an error here. Name my float is not defined. My float is not defined. Line 19. Oh, I'm converting my float. There's nothing actually. Whenever you see undefined error, actually means you have not declared something. You have not declared a variable that you are working on. That's actually the meaning of undefined error. So we cancel this one. Then we can actually come right here, and then this is perfect. So there are a lot of stuff we can do with string. There are string method we can do with it. We have the first method I'm going to show you with the string. So this my string right here, I can find the length of the string. I can access it as array. So I can say array is a group of similar variables. I can say variables. You cannot. Sometimes it might not be the same variables, but it has to be the same thing actually as an array. Yeah, so it's be the same thing, and then you can access it individually. In other programming language, you can have a array of char that's single numbers like A, B, C, D, E, F. You can have the array of them in the same format. Then you can be accessing each one step by step. And then in Python, we don't have to do that. Every string you write in Python can be treated as an array. So I can get the index of a particular string. If I by I can get I can get the number, or what I put it, the alphabet of a particular or variable, or whatever it is, of a particular string by referring to just the index. Now let me show you what I mean. If I can say print. I'm going to be printing out my string right here, and then I'll just put 1 right here, and see. Let me see what we're gonna be seeing here. So we're having 0 right here, which means that 0 or O, whatever you call it. So we're having O right here, and then why we are having O right here is because all these are taken as 4. All these are taken as 3. It is 4 actually, but it's taken as 3. It actually starts with 0 actually. So W is take 0. Then we have the O, it takes 1. Then the R takes 2. Then this K takes 3. That's how it actually works. If I wanted to print 3 now, if I print 3 now, I'll be printing the K. And then note if it is too much, or note the error is going to be giving me. No, the string is out of range. That means we don't have the string that is up to 4 right there. We only have just 4 string, which is starting from 0, 1, 2, 3. I hope everybody is getting this. I'll be happy if you can kindly just subscribe to my YouTube if you are enjoying this tutorial. So as I've done the print now, you can also find the length of a string by saying print what the length of a string. The length of a string is printed. Then we have the length of that particular string. No, we have the length of this, which is 4, and then let me print the length of my string 3. Let me see what I'll get. I have 17. Actually, how come is it 17? Let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm actually counting 18, but I think it's not 18. I think it's 17. So we can actually do something again. One very nice thing right here. We can check if a text or anything is inside a string. Now let me check something for you to see. So we use if statement to check something actually. If you don't know if statement, just relax. When we get to if statement, you're going to know more about if statement. So if statement is something that we can use or we use to check conditions. If this condition is not met, if it is met, all the stuff, get out all the stuff. That's what we use if statement for. So we have the if statement. I want to use this if statement to check if W is in work and it is not, do something like this. So I'll first say if the string W in work. So I want you to print, if it is in work, I want you to print it's inside, it's inside, it's inside. And if it is not, else print you, it's not, it's not. Let me actually check. Oh, work is not defined. Am I actually, oh, this is big error. It's not defined actually. I think it will be string. I should have, it's not. That means it's not inside. Why is not inside? Okay, the reason why it's not inside is because this is a small letter, this is the capital letter. If that will lead us to something very amazing. I can do something like if I'm working on a probably application or website or one of my projects, and then I write this kind of code right here, and then probably the client or anybody that's using your website might be very stubborn. They might not follow your rules. They might not write their own stuff in small letter or capital letter. So you can just, there's something I can just do by saying work equals to, okay, my string right here dot what, I can just find the lower case. Okay, let me just find the capitalize. This capitalize will change everything right here to capital letter, all the first letter to capital letter. So, and if I to change it to lower, everything should change to lower letter, or yeah. So it's not, it's telling me it's not. So I'll come right here and then put work right here. What did I just do? I hope it worked. Yep, it worked. So it's inside because I've changed everything to lower letter. So so if I should print it inside, then I should print work right here. You see everything has been converted to it's inside work. But why is work not printing? It's inside work. No, I don't like it. It should print. I want work should print. Probably if this is work, it should print it inside, then work. I don't know why it's not printing. Well, let me try and print it right here and see. Print. Oh, I found out. The reason why it's not printing is just a variable that is stored inside. Probably I'll be explaining that later. Why that one is not printing. Bless me. So now that I have everything working perfect, what I want to show you now is that I'm just going to cancel everything right here. Oh no, let me just comment everything out by turning it everything to a document string. So I'll turn everything to a document string, and then I can just come right here and have another string right here and say my name of the string is Samuel one. So this is another string right here I want to do. And then another thing I can do with it is to find the strip. If I find a strip, the strip will return back a list. Probably I should explain this. Probably I think I should explain list before I explain this, because you might not understand. So I should explain list before I explain that. But probably in the next class, uh, in my next video, I will try to cover list and then cover everything about list, dictionary, functions, or whatever. Probably if you can get to functions, but I'm not that very sure. So I hope you enjoy my tutorial. If this has helped you or in any way